Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we know as Fifi La Pew Pew, but if you are not an Arty player, you might know it's a leFH or a leaf blower. This one is located on the southwest spawn of Province under the command of ProvoBob. Okay, game on. Well, yes, ProvoBob's got another bot game. You can tell they're bots because they've got colons in front of their name and afterwards, and there's quite a lot of them in the game. Anyone who doesn't have a colon in front of their name is a real player. And obviously Arty tend to be real players because, well, it would be very, very unfair if there were bots in command of Arty's, because they'd be very accurate indeed. Rounds out. Okay, his first shot wasn't a hit, but he's just trying speculatively to see if any enemy are around. No luck with those shots. Now you may have noticed that there's a very large or very short number of videos just recently. I'm afraid that's down to the fact that I've been very busy, because obviously we spotted that cheat and we've been dedicating ourselves to try and get evidence together to prove where the person has been cheating in the past. So the actual normal games actually got put on the back burner quite a bit, but we're back and I'm generating as much content as I can, and I should be able to get up to at least 3 videos a day shortly. He's not having a lot of luck at the moment, but he's not letting it dial in, and that's what's causing the lack of accuracy. Ideally, you need to let the round dial in before you shoot, or leave the target. Rounds out the M8A1, this should be good. Oh yes, a direct hit wipes him out. Now, if he only could do the same to some of the others. There's a rather large contingent of enemy tanks coming up the west side of the map, or coming down the west side of the map I should say, because they're actually in the north. Yeah, the tanks that are over the other side have actually gone unspotted, so there's not a lot we can do for the moment. But hopefully if our teammates actually do move up, then we might be able to spot them. The enemy team does have a gorilla. Of course, he is a live player, just as I mentioned earlier. You wouldn't get bots. Well, it's very unlikely you get a bot commanding an Arty. I don't think Wargaming actually do that. But he's looking around for the tracer. I think he heard the tracer, so it sounds like the gorilla's just fired. You can normally hear the whistle of a shell leaving the barrel if it's Arty. And then of course nowadays you do see the tracer much easier than you did in the past. But of course the tracer doesn't start at the end of the barrel of the gorilla. It actually starts a little way off, which makes it a little more difficult to actually work out where they are. Okay, some other tanks in sight, but unfortunately the only one we can probably get a shot on is this M8A1. He needs to let the aim settle before he shoots, and he does. And it just zips over the top of the turret. So very unlucky, but he'll give it another go. And yet again he misses. So one more try. Don't want to waste too much ammunition. And that one definitely hit the M8A1, because there was no explosion as it hit the ground. And this time round he killed the other M8A1, so he's got 2 kills now. Okay. There is an enemy tank nearby, and he has been spotted. And that means the enemy gorilla will probably try to pick him up as quickly as he can. He's going to go unspotted momentarily from around this corner. And if the gorilla is at the far end of the map, he won't be able to get a shot just here. But that DW2 is more than likely going to come around the corner eventually. There's 2 enemy tanks over this side of the map. They're also leading by 1 tank, but remember, some of these are bots. In fact, I think we can see that 3 of the enemy players currently, the B1, the DW2 and the Type 95 are all bots. Now, I did mention in some of the videos about the cheating that what Arty Noobs players don't cheat, and that's why we've actually kicked the person who was cheating out of the group, because we just can't afford it. It's definitely not as allowable or acceptable as far as we're concerned. You don't need to cheat to win in this game, you just need to be skillful. And that requires that you spend a lot of time practicing. Now, ProvoBob certainly got a lot of practice. Grabs out, Wolverine, boom, takes the direct hit and gets wiped out afterwards. And he picked up all the damage assist off that one. He hasn't earned a whole lot of credit so far. Normally that he earns a lot more than this, but it seems that on this game, the enemy are playing hard to get. Our team have done well on the east side of the map, and they're now starting to get close to the northern area. And there's the gorilla. He's been located. He was within sight. And the shell zips over the top because he didn't allow it to dial in. But he's been spotted again. And I believe this time round it was the 25 TP who spotted him. But the enemy DW2 has been killed, so that's good news. But he was a bot. Now, what have we got up north? The enemy's only got 1 tank left, an A20. He might be on this side of the map. In fact, he could be up in these heights, and that might be why we were spotted. The team on the east side of the map are now coming over to our side. Some of them might try to stay in the cap area. We're looking to put a shot into that corner. It's a good guess. Oh, the A20's actually turned up here, and he's now firing directly at us. Oh, good shotgun. Penetrating shot, 390, but one more shot required to kill him. And if we don't get the kill soon... Oh, and again he hit him. Now ram him. And he rams him to kill him right at the end of the game. Can't get a good picture. Well, despite not being able to get a picture of the 2 tanks as he collided with it at the end of the game, ProvoBob managed to get a second-class tanker out of that game. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. And when he got attacked by the A20, he actually picked up a Stark's medal, and the reason for that was he took at least 2 shots, suffered at least 2/3 of the hit points of his own vehicle in damage, and he managed to get at least 2 kills and survived the battle. And I think that A20 forgot that the leFH is actually made from a heavy tank. You don't want to get rammed by a heavy tank because you will suffer damage if you're a light. And yes, he did. He actually went out of the game. ProvoBob managed to get a win rate of 4,214, which is super unicum, and that's a very good score. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. Actually, that went to the Wolverine on his own team, picked up a high caliber for 1,582 hit points. Second highest damage went to the Wolverine on the enemy team, who managed 1,561. And the third highest damage was the Panzer III, who managed to get 1,450. ProvoBob got 1,315. Unfortunately, he also got beaten by the 25 TP, who got 1,366. So sadly, he's actually in 5th place when it came to damage. When it came to kills, though, he was in 2nd place because the Wolverine managed 4 kills. He managed 3. So did the KV-1. And then there's the Wolverine on the enemy team and the Panzer III on his own team. When it came to base XP, he's actually top with 834. 774 went to the Wolverine, 744 went to the Panzer III. He fired 21 rounds in the game, got 6 direct hits on the enemy and 4 penetrations. Now this is interesting. I didn't actually see that he was getting so many pens, but apparently he penned the A20 once. He also penned the M8A1, and he penned the other M8A1 twice. So he didn't kill him, but he actually did get a low roll, and it was the second shot that actually wiped him out. That was the one that he fired blind shots at, because of course he knew the location. He just kept firing at that spot until eventually the guy expired. Let's look at the rest of the details. He got 7 splashes as well, 1,315 hit points of damage, of which 756 were at more than 300 meters. He received 7 hits from the A20. Of those, 6 were penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 55 hit points of damage was blocked by armor. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 3, and did 255 hit points of damage assistance. That's when the Wolverine got tracked, and his teammate took him out immediately afterwards. On a free-to-play account, he earned 25,992 credits for the game, 65,000 for completing the mission, 90,992 for the battle, and after repair and ammunition respawn, the ammo is fairly cheap so long as you use the standard HE rounds, because the heat rounds are the ones that are expensive. He took away 87,273 credits from that game. 834 base XP, 222 for this being a premium vehicle, and took away 1,056 experience points altogether. Very good game considering he was up against bots. The A20 was not a bot. That's how he actually acted very sneakily and managed to get by everyone and try and get ProvoBob. But the A20 driver, well, he was a bit inexperienced because he tried to take on a Fifi with a gun that could only do 55 per shot. And the problem with that, of course, is the Fifi does have enough hit points to actually stay alive for a considerable number of rounds. And it does have fairly thick armor, although the A20 driver appeared to be aiming for the gun screen, which is the weak spot. So he did get that bit right, but he just obviously exposed himself to ProvoBob, and ProvoBob was able to get direct hits on him and get a penetration. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.